on this hillside of solemn remembrance. And its graveside
Can't stop thinking about you.
So that's an example of a spec ad. A spec ad is essentially a fake ad or video that you kind of create for a specific company or industry to showcase what you can do. Nowadays, this is the best way to land new clients, to show a completed project to prove to them us as filmmakers can bring value to them. But just like any passion projects, these are fully self-funded, and the goal isn't to make money out of them, but it is to land clients with it. What if you don't have the necessary gear, the budget, or even just the time to create one of these type of videos at the level you might see them at? I currently find myself in a weird place where I feel like my ideas exceed the necessary resources that I currently have at this very moment. I kind of put them on the back burner until it's the right time. It kind of got me thinking, is there a way to build these type of ads with stock footage? The visual you just saw in the beginning, all the footage I got from Motion Array, posted by a creator that posts on Motion Array for his footage to be used, and I created the visual you just saw. I want to break down my process, break down this video you just saw, and then also just dive in deeper of how this can even be done using stock footage moving forward. And maybe by the end of it, you might be inspired to do the same, to just get editing more and creating more by this route that's a little bit more cost friendly. The only way to get this done is finding a collection of footage posted by the same creator. These creators are posting a good amount of the same kind of shoot they might have done. The biggest challenge with stock footage is like a one and done kind of video usually. With that's what keeps it getting foreign. But now, since you might find a whole collection of the same video, the same subject, the same setting, perfect. And this is how you're able to build these type of ads, only using this footage. And if there isn't enough footage, then it's a lot harder to try to create a complete product and ad. Now, let's get into my breakdown with it. This is kind of my very fun timeline. Where I like to start with every single video is a basic cut of the footage to get a good kind of sequence going on how to build the whole video. One of the major pieces in order to do that is to get my main track that I will be using for this video. What I mean by that is the overall song. Picking a song is so important, but it's so tedious at times, and it can be such a long process because of how important it is to me to the overall pacing of a video, to overall mood of a video, to the overall it can be as important as good footage, or maybe even more important as good footage. And when it comes to using for client and paid work, you want to use like uncopyright music. For this case, I'm not getting paid, and a lot of my passion projects I use just regular songs, popular songs that I listen to on a daily. For this particular video, I already had a song lined up that I've been listening to. It's been on repeat recently. Sexy ass song. You already saw the visual in the beginning. It was like a match made in heaven. Sexy song, sexy car, sexy footage, sexy model. It's a match made in heaven. I already knew I wanted to use this song. Now it's just a matter of just chopping up the footage that I have and then splicing up the song as well to kind of fit the whole story. When working with the visual of a car, the one thing I love to do always to make it more almost realistic, to kind of not leave the song on top of the video, but more embedded into it. If a song has like a build up that leads a beat drop or the kind of height of the song, you can split it up to two ways, and that's kind of how I went about this visual. The first half of it is more ambient, what you might hear in the gas station, what you might hear in the real world. And knowing this idea that I wanted there to be a build-up, first half until we get to that point, it's all sound design, realistic ambience. What would I hear here? What would I hear in this shot? I usually lean towards these kind of reverb effects to get that done. In Premiere Pro, you have surround reverb, studio reverb, and convulsion reverb. Another effect that I utilize a lot that you probably will not hear unless you have headphones is panning. For example, as the car was coming towards the gas station, that front shot, the audio track with the news report that is coming from the pumps is going to be to your left. And from your right, the only thing you're mainly going to be hearing is things that are coming from the road or the right side, whatever that might be. To drag you in and then lead you into that insane montage that is more just straight track heavy. So after I build out the sound design, I do color last. And with stock footage, you're not working with like a flat color profile mainly. The footage you get is almost perfect. It's almost too perfect. That's another issue with stock footage. But also it's pretty much graded already. I don't have as much freedom as I want to with color grade, but I still treat it as if I did. Color I've just been really leaning into for the past couple of years is that kind of film look. I also lean into kind of the 4:3 aspect ratio, also bringing in the film kind of borders for this work. Overall color, what I use to get it done is this kind of plugin that I've made a video about before. It's called Dehancer, and essentially it's a film emulation and simulation suite that you're able to kind of do full-blown color grading and add kind of film effects such as halation, bloom, and things like that in order to get kind of the look you're going for. And with my kind of final variation of it, I came to this, and then I mixed in together film effects, film burns, film clicks, and things like that to piece it together to get the overall color grade for this video. I think it came out really dope. I hit exactly how I had laid out. I hit the overall kind of pacing that I wanted to, and for spec ads, you want to keep it to 30 seconds to 1 minute max. So you have to keep in mind about that pacing. Let me know what you think, because you saw in the beginning and now you saw the full breakdown. Maybe I gave away some of the magic of not knowing the breakdown, but I hope it helped. So with all that being said, all that shown, why even do this, right? Why even put so much effort into creating a sick edit, sick visual when it's just all stock footage? Because a little part of me still feels like I can't fully take credit for doing this because I wasn't involved from the start to the finish. The pre-planning, producing, shooting the footage, editing, and then figuring out the rollout and things like that. That is all right. If I'm not trying to take full credit and be like, oh yeah, I recorded all this, I completed this 100%, this is mine, I did this and things like that. I'm not just full of BS and I'm just open and I'm like, yeah, all I did was just edit. And I'm not like making loads of money off of someone else's hard work and things like that. It's okay. I look back at a majority of my work recently in the last couple of years and I realized a lot of it, I was just an editor. I was given footage and they were like, create this. Usually when you get into larger productions and working with larger brands and larger shoots, you're only gonna have one role. You could be an editor, but that can even dive deeper. You could only do the color grading. You could only do the sound. You can only do the sound design. But the most important thing about it is it's very budget friendly. With an up and coming videographer, it allows you to be free to experiment different editing styles, different effects that you always wanted to do. It's great to see the progress you've made as an editor, as a storyteller, as a filmmaker, and see where you stand. If given the opportunity, this was a real kind of deal and real client that wants you to create something, it's a great way to see how you would do it. It's another great way to kind of feed your ideas that might not be obtainable right now, that are on the back burner. It's also a piece that you can add into your own inspo locker that you go into when this certain type of video comes up that you are really hired to do, that you want to use as inspiration. You know exactly how to go about it. If someone comes, oh, I got a Ferrari, please make something dope with my Ferrari, please. Don't worry, sir, I got you, man. Look at what I just made. Lastly, it would just get you to create more and wait less. That is something I'm still trying to get a lot better at. This is one way to do it and still progress. Maybe by now you might be inspired to make one yourself. So I challenge you to make one, to make a spec ad just only using stock footage. And if you do, I would love to to see them. If you want to comment below when you make one and you post it on your social media profiles, I'll find them myself. Or if you find my other social media profiles and you would like to tag me or send me them, please send them to me and I would love to see them as well. With that being said, stay safe, always do what you love, and I'll catch y'all in the next one.